Let me ask you a quick question. What do you think separates a good iPhone photo from a great masterpiece? Well, let me give you a little hint. When you look at the photos of accomplished iPhone photographers who have thousands of likes and followers on social media, you've probably noticed that for some reason, their iPhone photos don't really look the same as the photos that you take with your own iPhone. You know, maybe the colors in your photos look different. Maybe they do not create the same kind of mood or feelings. Or maybe they just don't make the same kind of visual impact. And honestly, I'm not surprised because not too long ago, I felt the exact same way. You see, I wasn't always the person behind the largest iPhone photography website in the world with over 500,000 monthly readers. And not too long ago, I was struggling to make a strong visual impact with my own iPhone photography. And I couldn't really understand why. Of course, not all my iPhone photos were amazing back then, and honestly, not all of them are amazing today, but some of them are pretty good, and I'm still proud to look at these photos today, but I still couldn't make the right kind of impact even with my best iPhone photos. So obviously, I was missing out on something, but I couldn't find a missing piece. But then we started interviewing some of the best iPhone photographers in the world, and I quickly found out that 99% of the photos these people share on social media or in print don't come straight from the iPhone's camera. Sure, they are sometimes great photos to begin with, but these images wouldn't be complete without the photo editing that was done later. So when you look at the work of great iPhone photographers, you're never just looking at their photos alone. Instead, you're always looking at the combination of their original photo and tasteful photo editing that has been carefully fine-tuned to enhance the photo to make a stronger visual impact. And by editing, I don't mean applying a quick filter in Instagram or in any other filter app. I mean serious photo editing where you carefully fine-tune each effect to enhance that particular photo to make a stronger impact while also maintaining the full quality of that image. So let me show you some examples of what I mean by that. Now, the iPhone camera is set up to take bland photos. It has to work well in different light, with different colors and for different subjects, and it doesn't really know what kind of look you want to create. And since it has to work well in so many conditions, it will give you an average photo that's most likely to work for all the different purposes you might have in your mind. And that works okay, but it will not give you amazing results. So let me show you exactly what I mean. So the photo you're looking at now is a beautiful early spring day in Yellowstone National Park with some amazing soft light. And there was an amazing feeling of freshness in the air, and everything was white and beautiful. But that's not really the kind of feeling you get by looking at this photo. And also the composition could be improved, and the horizon is not straight here. Now the good news is that all of these issues can be easily corrected, and now you're looking at the same photo after a quick 3-minute editing session. Now this photo is much closer to how the place felt in real life, and it also happens to be a lot more beautiful. And the point I'm trying to make is that your iPhone photos, or any other photos, will never look perfect directly from the camera. That's because the iPhone camera is set up to take neutral looking photos, so don't expect breathtaking results directly from the camera. You have to edit your photos if you really want to get stunning results. And it also turns out that even outstanding photos can be improved in editing. So let me show you what I mean with an example. So right now you're looking at the original unedited photo, and you may have seen this photo before. I happen to like this photo a lot. It has some really beautiful view with nice colors and beautiful composition. But the question is, can we make this photo even better? And watch closely, because there's a small difference that I was able to create through editing, but it is definitely an improvement. So as you can see right now, the colors are a lot brighter, more beautiful. The orange cliff in the background stands out more. And in general, this photo just leaves a stronger visual impact. And as you can see from this example, any photo can be made better through some careful photo editing. Now, photo editing also allows you to create an artistic look in your photos if that's what you want to do. So let me show you what that looks like. So this photo here doesn't seem that special, at least not in its current state. But if you're proficient at photo editing, you'll recognize the artistic potential in a photo like this. and you'll then convert this photo to black and white. And once you do that, you're going to get a minimalistic abstract photo, as you can see on the screen right now. And this, by the way, is a super quick edit that only took me about 3 minutes. But the difference is absolutely huge, as you can see. But it gets even more interesting. You can even completely change your photos in editing. So let me show you some examples of that. So here, you're looking at a photo of a woman on the beach, and you'll probably agree with me that this photo is kind of empty, there's nothing interesting in the sky, and you'll also see that the horizon is slanted. However, if we do some quick photo editing, we can completely turn this photo around and create something entirely different, as you can see on the screen right now. This photo has a lot more pleasing colors, it has some beautiful textures in the sky, and compositionally it just looks so much better. And this is another example of what you can do in just a few minutes of editing after you learn some essential photo editing techniques. And once you truly master these techniques, you can even turn an average photo into outstanding art. So the photo you're looking at right now is actually not that great of a photo. I think the composition is totally wrong, and just in general, this photo is kind of boring, but it turns out you can make it really great through some creative photo editing techniques. So after I did some quick editing to this photo, here's the result I was able to create, and you will notice that this image looks more like a beautiful old painting, and it definitely doesn't look like the photo we started with, and that's the power of photo editing once you learn how to do it well. But as it turns out, there are also some problems with photo editing, so let me quickly talk about those. Well, first, many people completely ruin their photos in editing, and there's so many ways this happens that I can't mention them all here in this video, but people make lots of editing mistakes that end up ruining their photos. And actually, I was also making all of these mistakes when I first started, so if you're making any of these mistakes, you're definitely not alone. Now, the other problem is that if you're not careful, you will reduce the quality of your photos in editing. Now, this is something I hear about all the time. Someone creates a photo that looks really nice on the screen of the iPhone, but when you open the same photo on your computer, it's a complete mess. And that's usually because the editing was not done correctly. Another problem that I often hear about is that it's easy to get overwhelmed with photo editing apps. There are over 10,000 photo editing apps on the App Store, and probably even more now. And the question is, how do you make sense of all of this? Well, you shouldn't be spending hours trying to figure this out. Your time is better spent elsewhere, such as with your family or being out there taking more photos. So why spend hours trying to figure out photo editing on your own? You shouldn't be doing that because there's an easier and smarter way to learn photo editing. Introducing iPhone Editing Academy. iPhone Editing Academy is the only course that shows you how you can make your best iPhone photos even 10 times better through simple photo editing techniques without spending hours working on your photos and without ruining the quality of your photos in editing. You're going to discover exactly how to use the most powerful iPhone photo editing apps, and even the advanced features of these apps will no longer seem intimidating to you. You're also going to know which app should be used for editing each photo, and you're going to know exactly what each effect in these apps does for your photos. You'll also develop your own creative vision for what each photo should look like, and most importantly, you'll know exactly how to turn your creative vision into reality. But even more importantly, you'll be editing your photos with confidence, knowing that you're not ruining them through editing. You won't be losing the quality of your photos in editing, so when you open your edits on the computer or when you print them out, you'll be just as happy as you were when you were looking at them through the screen of your iPhone. And you won't be spending hours working on your images. The edits that I'm going to teach you are relatively quick and simple, but they're also extremely powerful, which means that you're going to get extraordinary results without putting in hours and hours of hard work. Now, iPhone Editing Academy is an online video course, and since all the videos are pre-recorded, you don't have to show up at a particular time, and you can take this course whenever you have free time. And you don't have to free up any time right now to participate in the course, because all the lectures will still be there waiting for you when you're ready or when you need to revise them later in the future. And that's because you'll keep lifetime access to all contents of the course. You can complete the entire course using your iPhone or iPad. So if it's easier for you to see on the iPad screen, that's totally fine as well. I'll personally be using the iPhone, but it's totally okay if you're using iPad for editing your photos. Now, of course, you can watch all the lectures on your computer, on your iPhone, on your iPad, or on any other device that you like to use. But now, let me pick up my iPhone and let me show you exactly what the course looks like from the inside. Okay, so this is what you're going to see when you open the course for the first time. There's a big welcome video, and you can see that we have a whole bunch of comments under the video. So there are hundreds and hundreds of other students taking the course at the same time, and you will not be alone on this journey. But now let me open Module 1, which is where the course actually starts. Now, Module 1 is about the foundation of iPhone photo editing. So the things you're going to learn in this module are this kind of things that everyone editing photos on the iPhone should know about. So we're going to talk about some important topics like how to select the best photo editing apps from the App Store. Also, I'm going to show you how to select your best photos for editing. So let's say you come back from vacation with thousands of photos, and in this video, you're going to discover how you can pick the best of these photos and make sure that these photos are actually worth editing. I'm also going to show you how to organize and sync your iPhone photos. And as you can see from the number of comments here, this video got a lot of excitement from the participants of the course. We'll also talk about how to preserve the quality of your photos in editing and how you can develop a creative vision for your photos. And these are just some of the things that are covered in Module 1. Now, in Module 2, we are going to talk about some essential photo editing tools. So we'll start with the very basics, such as straightening and cropping your iPhone photos, and how you can do that to make sure you create the perfect composition for every photo you work with. We'll then talk about filters and whether you should or should not be using them for editing. We'll also cover some essential photo editing tools such as brightness, contrast, and histograms. We'll then look at highlights, shadows, and editing curves, which allow you to gain even more control over the contrast of your images. We'll then get into some color correction techniques such as saturation and white balance. And finally, I'm going to share with you some simple and practical tips for creating sharp and clear photos with your iPhone. So these are the things you'll need for absolutely any photo you're going to edit, no matter what your creative vision is for that particular photo. And if you don't know what some of these terms mean, don't worry. They're all explained in the course, and you don't need to be technical to take part in this course, as we start from the very beginning. And of course, you can always ask me and my team any questions that you have, which either me or one of my team members will be happy to answer for you. And that's what you're going to learn in Module 2. Now let's go to Module 3. And Module 3 is about doing selective adjustments and using masks. Now, the truth is that you can only uncover the true power of photo editing when you start applying your edits only to certain parts of the image. And that's exactly what you're going to discover in this module. So we're going to start by some basic techniques such as applying vignetting and lens blur, as well as highlights and shadows tints for color correction of your photos. But then we'll get into selective adjustments. We'll talk about improving your photos using brushes, and how you can use masks for selective photo editing. And finally, we're going to talk about some advanced applications of masking and how you can use these to greatly enhance the quality of your iPhone photos. And these are the things you're going to discover in Module 3. Now, Module 4 is all about common iPhone photo editing scenarios. So in this module, we're going to take the things we've learned thus far in the course, and we're going to apply them to some of the most common photo editing situations. So you're going to discover how to create vibrant landscape photos, how to create stunning photos of flowers. We're going to talk about creating beautiful portrait photos. And I'll also show you how you can create subtle, subdued tones in your images, and even how you can create beautiful, mysterious black and white photos. And these are the things you're going to discover in Module 4. Now, Module 5 is another very interesting module, because in Module 5, you're going to discover some iPhone photo editing tricks. So here you're going to discover some of the most unique and most fun things you can do when editing photos with your iPhone. So we're going to start by talking about removing unwanted objects from your photos. We'll then talk about extending the canvas of your photos and how you can essentially do the opposite of cropping to make your photos bigger. We're also going to talk about creating beautiful color splash effects in your photos. We'll then look at some perspective correction tools and how you can use these to greatly enhance your photos of architecture and buildings. And finally, we'll get into things like copy-paste photo editing, which is a useful trick that can save you hours and hours of your time. And I will even show you how you can create your own editing filters. And these are the things you're going to discover in Module 5. Now, Module 6 is where we are really starting to get advanced, because Module 6 is all about understanding layers.
So we are going to start this slowly. So in case you find layers confusing, you don't have to be worried about it. We're going to start with the very essentials, and then we'll cover different aspects of layering. For example, we'll talk about the different blending modes and how you can use these to enhance your photos. I'll then show you how you can work with 2 layers of the same image for creating the kind of effects you would not be able to create otherwise. We'll then look at different ways to combine elements from different photos into one beautiful coherent composition. And then we're also going to talk about applying different textures to your photos and what you should know to make sure that your textured photos always look beautiful. So these are the things you're going to discover in Module 6, where we talk about layers. Now, Module 7 is about creative editing projects. So the purpose of this module is to jumpstart your creativity and to give you some ideas for how you can take the things you've learned thus far and apply them to your own photos. Now, we're going to talk about how you can create a beautiful series of photos so that the entire series tells a coherent story. I'll then show you how you can add unique light effects to your photos. We'll talk about creating dramatic storm photos. I'll even show you how you can add some crazy planetary effects to your images. And we'll then look at applying strong painterly textures to your photos. And finally, I'll show you how you can create great reflection photos, even if there are no reflections in the original image. So as you can see, a lot of these edits we're going to talk about in Module 7 are rather strong, but at the same time, I'm going to show you how you can do them in such a way where you're enhancing rather than ruining your images in the process. And now I just want to quickly open one of the lectures here in Module 7 just to show you what that looks like. So here you can see we have a big video. This particular video is 21 minutes and 34 seconds, which is a little bit longer than most videos. So most of them are about 15 minutes long. This one happens to be a bit longer. And here you can download the photo that we use as an example in this edit. So every time we edit any kind of photos in this course, you get to download them so you can follow along all the edits on your own iPhone or iPad. And finally, we have comments under each video, so you get to ask me any questions or leave your feedback about that particular lecture. So let's just look at these comments quickly. So Nora is saying, I'm just loving the Reflect app. Thanks for showing us the beautiful editing you did on this photo. I'm sad to see the classes end. I've come so far, and everyone else too. I've been reviewing the modules and I'm still learning. Thanks so much, Emil, for this advanced editing class and all the hard work you put in this class. The possibilities are unlimited. So now let's look at another comment from another student who had completed the course. So here, Cinder is saying, after 8 weeks, it's bittersweet to see our journey end. But as they say, as one door closes, another one opens. And with our wealth of new knowledge, the possibilities are endless. Thanks, Emil. And here's one more comment that I want to quickly show you. And here Fred is saying, I'm going to review the modules once and maybe even more than once more, learning all the time. This was a great course. Thank you so much, Emil. Kudos for all the hard work you put in this course. I definitely will recommend this course to family and friends and everybody who asks me for good resources for iPhone photographers. So don't take my word for this. Look at these comments from students who really enjoyed the course, and I'm sure that when you join iPhone Editing Academy today, you are going to have a similar experience. Now, in case you're wondering about apps, we will be using several apps throughout the course, depending on what each app does best, but you won't need to get more than 10 apps to complete the course. And some of these apps are free, but others will cost you $1 or $2. Now, almost the entire course will consist of live demonstrations of apps, but this is not a course teaching you a small number of apps. This is a course that will teach you iPhone photo editing beyond the limitations and boundaries of any particular app. So when you finish this course, you'll feel right at home in absolutely any photo editing app that you decide to use, because once you learn the editing tools that we're going to cover, you'll be surprised to find out that all photo editing apps are based on these same tools. So this course will equip you with the right knowledge to deal with any app that you might encounter either now or anytime in the future. And of course, you'll get lifetime access to everything in the course, so if for any reason you fall behind the schedule, you can always catch up later. You don't have to free up any time to take the course right now. And if you want to review the videos, you will of course be able to do that. Now, this is the best work that I have ever created. If you're one of my previous students, you already know how much effort I put into making my lessons concise, inspiring, and effective. And I've learned a lot from teaching iPhone photography to so many people. So iPhone Editing Academy is my best work ever. And as you saw before, the students who have gone through this course absolutely love it. Now, at this point, you're probably wondering about the cost of the course. But first, let me tell you about all the amazing bonuses that you'll get when you join iPhone Editing Academy today. So the first bonus you're going to get is free updates. As you may know, photo editing apps go through some major changes several times per year. So courses or books about iPhone photography tend to go out of date pretty quickly. But I won't let that happen to iPhone Editing Academy. So you'll get free updates whenever such updates are needed. So when you join iPhone Editing Academy today, you're making an investment in your iPhone photography that will last you for years and years. Now, the second bonus you're going to get is additional lessons from past webinars. There are more than 6 hours of these free bonus lessons, and in these lessons I show you some more advanced and longer photo editing workflows using photos that were actually sent in by other students. So the point I'm trying to make here is that these techniques work on everyone's photos, and they'll definitely work on your photos as well. And you'll also see me critique edits by other students and point out the mistakes they're making so you can avoid these mistakes yourself. And you'll see me answer all sorts of questions about photo editing. And when you join today, you're going to get these 6 hours of extra video lessons absolutely for free. And finally, the third bonus is recordings from iPhone Photo Academy Live all-day online event. This bonus alone is worth the entire price of the course. You see, I did something crazy recently. I invited my favorite iPhone photographers and iPhone photography visionaries to this truly extraordinary online event. So this was an all-day educational event where 7 world-class iPhone photographers were sharing their best-kept secrets, techniques, and workflows. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go over the list of speakers now, but these are 7 of the most respected iPhone photographers in the world, each teaching one aspect of iPhone photography that they're extremely passionate about. And today you're going to get these videos absolutely for free when you join iPhone Editing Academy. Now, at this point, I want to briefly talk about the alternatives that you have if for any reason you decide that iPhone Editing Academy is not for you. Well, first, you could try to figure it all out on your own, which might actually work if you're really good with technology, but it would probably take you years of hard work to learn everything on your own. I know it sounds harsh, but I know this is true because it took me 3 years of being a full-time iPhone photographer to really learn iPhone photo editing. So if you choose to learn it all on your own, good luck, but it's not going to be easy. Now, you could also hire an iPhone photography teacher, and not all of them are actually good at photo editing, but some of them are. So if you can find someone good from your area, you could try to learn that way. The problem is that it would cost you at least $1,000 to become really good, and of course, you won't have access to all the lessons once they're over, but with my course, you'll keep lifetime access to all the materials and even free future updates when the editing apps change in the future. Now, the good news is that I'm not going to charge you $1,000. The regular price of iPhone Editing Academy is $497, but today, you don't have to pay the regular price. When you join iPhone Editing Academy today, it's going to cost you only $297. And of course, that includes lifetime access to the course, including all future updates, hours and hours of bonus lessons with in-depth editing workflows and editing critiques, and even free recordings from an all-day event where some of the best iPhone photographers in the world share their best-kept secrets about iPhone photography. Now, in case you want to pay in installments, you definitely can, and that's going to be 3 easy payments of $99 once a month. And of course, iPhone Editing Academy comes with a 30-day, no questions asked money-back guarantee. So if for any reason during the first 30 days you decide that this course is not for you, just send me an email and you'll get all your money back, so you don't even have to make up your mind about staying in the course right now. Just sign up to reserve a spot, take my course for a full 30 days, and if you're not absolutely ecstatic, I don't want to keep your money. And of course, I can only afford this kind of guarantee because I know how much your iPhone photo editing is going to improve in this course. And even if the timing is not perfect right now, I still recommend you join the course now since you can complete it at your own pace and always come back to the videos later. And yes, you'll even get free updates as the apps that we use in the course substantially change in the future. So here's what I want you to do now. Click on the registration button below this video, and that will take you to a secure order form. Once you fill out the form, you're going to immediately receive an email with login details for the members area. So go ahead, click on the registration button below this video, and I'll see you on the other side.